Today is March 25th, the Feast of the Annunciation, and the anniversary of the death of Archbishop Marcel Lefebvre, our founder and father in the faith. He died on this day in 1991, condemned by apostates, faithful to eternal Rome, and hated by modernist Rome. And on this day, 34 years later, we must speak. Not to innovate, not to attack, but to distinguish, to draw a clear, necessary line between those who truly carry the torch of Archbishop Lefebvre and those who pretend to. Over the past week, the Catholic trumpet has been contacted by faithful across Ireland, England, and beyond. Some expressed support, others confusion. A few were direct. We fought the false resistance for years, but now that the Catholic trumpet is defending Bishop Ballini, people are confused. It looks like you're cozying up to the wrong side. That concern is legitimate. And the time has come to make the distinction clear, public, doctrinal, and final. This is not about private loyalty. This is about Catholic truth. After the death of Archbishop Lefebvre, the Society of St. Pius X stood alone against the apostasy of Vatican II. But in 2012, a fracture occurred. Bishop Bernard Follet entered negotiations with Rome. The result? A practical agreement and the beginning of open compromise. From that point, the SSPX resistance emerged. And from that point forward, the stand of Archbishop Lefebvre continued, but not everyone followed it. While the Catholic Church of all time remains unbroken, many souls fell away through compromise, confusion, or silence. One part continued the line of Archbishop Lefebvre, the other took his name, but not his doctrine. At the center of this counterfeit wing stood Bishop Richard Williamson. Here are the documented verbatim errors taught or tolerated by Bishop Williamson and his allies. Each quote is public, sourced, and condemned by the Church's magisterium and tradition. The new religion can build your faith. Attending the Novus Ordo Mass can do more good than harm. Do whatever you think you need to do to keep the faith, which can include attending the Novus Ordo Mass. We must accept the Eucharistic miracles of the Novus Ordo as genuine. The Novus Ordo Mass does not always undermine the faith. The problem with Vatican II is that it is ambiguous. Not every priest needs to leave the conciliar church or stop saying the Novus Ordo Mass. Congregations and seminaries are not needed today. They are outdated. God does not want there to be a structure or congregation for the resistance. Criticizing Bishop Williamson has consequences. These are not Catholic positions. They are liberalism in traditional vestments. Let us be clear. These errors are not isolated to Bishop Williamson. They are tolerated, sometimes repeated, by those who publicly align with him. Bishop Zendejas published similar theological positions in his blue paper newsletters, suggesting ambiguity at Vatican II and defending salvation outside the SSPX. Bishop Follet publicly offered Mass at the venue of Father Abraham after the priest admitted to grave moral abuse and was removed from ministry by the SSPX. Bishop Paul Morgan is reportedly the one who gave his blessing for Father Abraham to move from the SSPX priory to live with Bishop Williamson. This was documented in the Recusant. While Greg Taylor did not hear this directly from Father Morgan, it was reported by multiple reliable sources and included in the Recusant's issue number 31. Where is the Catholic faith? This didn't begin in 2015 AD. It was predicted in 2007 AD. A publication aligned with Virgo Maria warned, in the unlikely event that Bishop Vallée signs an agreement with Ratzinger, Bishop Williamson will lead a faction of dissidents under the banner of fidelity to Archbishop Lefebvre. His role can be seen as controlled opposition. This is precisely what happened. The society compromised. Bishop Williamson pretended to resist, but in reality, he scattered, confused, and disarmed the fight. He denied the need for structure. He undermined priestly unity. He promoted errors. And he covered for scandal. There are only two priests today who the Catholic trumpet can publicly stand by and confidently say have held the line of Archbishop Lefebvre without compromise. Their names are Father David Hugo and Father Ruiz. They have never once defended the Novus Ordo. They have never promoted ambiguity. They continue the fight as Lefebvre did, with clarity, unity, doctrine, and prayer. They organize, they preach, and they teach seminarians. And they both name the errors and heresies for what they are. Father Hugo and Father Ruiz are not part of the false resistance. They are the continuation of the true one. And now, we must address the elephant in the room. In 2015, Greg Taylor, editor of the Recusant, published a public exposé detailing the scandal of Father Stephen Abraham. Father Abraham was accused of gravely immoral conduct in the Philippines, and again years later in France. He admitted his guilt in a private interview. He admitted the temptation remained. He said, such incidents could happen again, and yet Bishop Williamson welcomed him into the resistance, gave him a home, let him return to ministry, and suggested to Greg that it is not a concern because it was a long time ago. And the scandal has not only been met with silence, it has, at times, been met with justification. 2017, Bishop Foyer was asked about Father Stephen Abraham. Here's what he said in reply.
Do you have any reason for concern that he is now allowing Father to serve the faithful in England, given Father past in the SSPS?
Well,
could you please explain that for us?
With precautions, necessary precautions, if there is, of course, you must have non-danger. You must not put only soul in danger. If these precautions are taken, then you may try to save the soul of these priests. Because in the society we have, unfortunately, had many situations difficult. No? And some priests have gone, others no. And so, of course, you must try to help this priest not to lose their soul.
This scandal has never once been denied publicly by anyone in that camp. We are not here to spread filth. We are here to protect the sheep. As Father Hugo advised us directly, you may reference Greg's report, but let those who want more details read the recusant themselves. So we do. The link is in the description. What about Bishop Ballini? He recently preached a public sermon in Derry. In it, he rejected Vatican II, exposed the new religion, and read the 1988 Declaration of the SSPX. That sermon was strong, but questions remain. Is he still aligned with Bishop Williamson's network? Why has he not spoken publicly about Father Abraham or Father Moran? Does he stand with Father Hugo, Father Ruiz, Archbishop Lefebvre and the Catholic resistance, or not? Silence is no longer an option. The faithful have a strict right to clarity. Your Excellency, we thank you for speaking, but if you are with Archbishop Lefebvre, we ask you to speak again. Do you stand with the clear, organized line of the true resistance, or with the scattered silence of the false one? The fake resistance is real, and it must be named. We do not stand with Novus Ordo miracles, doctrinal ambiguity, disunity, and decentralization. Do what you need to do to keep the faith theology. We stand with the social kingship of Christ, the Immaculate Heart of Mary, Archbishop Lefebvre, Father Hugo, Father Ruiz, clear doctrine, priestly organization, sacramental integrity. To all the faithful who are confused, by the grace of God and through the Immaculate Heart of Mary, we speak for you. To all who are afraid, by the grace of God, we are not. To all who see the corruption and stay silent, now is the time to act. We seek to remain faithful to the doctrines of the Church, to the warnings of Our Lady, and to the stand of Archbishop Lefebvre. We reject the counterfeit church born of Vatican II. We reject the false resistance built on compromise and silence. And by the grace of God, through the Immaculate Heart of Mary, we persevere in the Catholic faith. We will leave you with these words from Archbishop Marcel Lefebvre. So let us be confident. Let us not be unprepared. Let us not be outflanked. Let us be wise, vigilant, fighting against those who are trying to tear the faith out of our souls and morality, out of our hearts, so that we may remain Catholics.